What is up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. It's episode 65 of Marlins franchise, and we're pretty deep into the season. Last time I left you, I think we were mid-late February, wrapping up the off season, was going to get everything ready. I think I said in that episode that I'd probably get through May, June. We're in the middle of July, but let's get you caught up. Let's start with the preseason projections before spring. You can see here, they had us at 95 wins, 2 games back of the Mets, third best team in the National League behind those Mets, as well as the Cubs. Let's see, we had Highland Hall and Tony Padilla as far as hitters, Jaden Owens. Now, I can't remember if I took a screenshot that included the bottom end of that so we could see if we had anybody else. I don't think I did, or I don't think, oh no, it does go to the bottom. Yeah, I enlarged it. We also had Arcadian Muller and former Marlin Jordan Walker. So we could have had 4 hitters in the list if I'd have kept Walker, but, you know, I traded him. Just the one pitcher in Jaden Owens. So that was before spring. Then we have the post-spring projections, which they are in the game here. I'm just going to say them because I don't want to show them. I don't want to give away the record yet, because once I get into the game, these are just screenshots you guys are seeing. Once I get into the game, you'll be able to see our record and everything. And I know some of y'all might not want that spoiled, or maybe a lot of y'all don't even look because you're second screening, so I can go through it. But I will tell you that in the second set of projections, we were the ones projected for 97 games, 6 games clear of the Mets. In fact, we were the top team projected in baseball. Not bad. Muller and Padilla made the top 10 hitters list. Owens, again, solo Owens, made the list. Jordan Walker made it. Obviously, he's not on our team, but I did want to bring that up. And they'd moved him from 3rd to 1st. For those of you that like the projection stuff. So, you know, they had us projected to do all right. Then as far as the prospects, top 100 came out. We had the 8th ranked system. Jesus Perales doing a lot of the heavy lifting there as the number 3 prospect. We also have 41, 95, 113, 148, 190, 191, 200. So we got a bigger core in that second group of 100. But when you have the number 3 prospect, it's going to go a long way. So Jesus Perales, 17 years old. Is he the future at catcher? Perhaps. We shall see. Oh, and then ownership change. Edgar Sanchez passed away. Edgar Sanchez Jr. took over the team. I will tell you, much better ownership, most cases. He's lenient on patience, hands-off in involvement, extreme winning priority, and his expectations to win the championship. But he is fiscally controlling. So he's still kind of keeping the clamps. So we'll see how that goes as we move forward with the son, Edgar Sanchez Jr. So we started off with a little tough start in March, which normally you're like, who cares? What is that, like 2 games? Well, with the way our schedule works, it was 7 games. So we went 2-5, a little bit of a crummy start. Certainly not the end of the world. But then we went 20-8 in April. Completely erased that. Added together 22-13 to start the season. I usually just squeeze March into April and October into September. You know, with as few games as you play in either of those months, it doesn't really make sense to like isolate it and say, oh, we had a really tough March. So we had the elite April. Then things kind of took a little bit of a turn. Not a huge negative one. I'm not trying to set you up for something that's going to be awful. 16-12 in May. Okay, but then 11-16 in June. So, you know, basically a 500 May, June there. And we were kind of running in place a little bit. Despite the 22-13 start, you know how tough the NL East has been. It wasn't going well. And so on July 1st, we were 4 games back in 3rd place, despite being 50-41, which is a pretty good record. But I will say, it wouldn't have led any other division. So it wasn't just that our division's tough. It just wasn't a standout record. 54-37 for the Mets, 51-40 for Philly. So that's where it was coming into July. Things just weren't where I wanted them. I liked that the offense was playing well, but the defense was dreadful. I thought it was hurting the pitching. So I made a move. I made a big move, y'all. Let's shift over to the game here. Bam. There it is. July 5th. Highland Hall gets traded with Chris Robles, Manny Camargo, and Edward Umana for Isaiah Mallory, Drew Romo, Jesus Barron and Willie Corona. The last two you don't really need to know. Those are some prospects just thrown in. Isaiah Mallory and Drew Romo are the pieces here. And of course, Highland Hall is the big give. And we had to eat up 40% of it. But we had to make a move. Simple fact is, had to do something big. That also facilitated a Patrick Bailey trade simply because now we had three catchers. Highland Hall traded to Colorado. And yeah, he's only played 6 games, but he's been amazing. 4 homers. He has a 640 ISO, a 293 WRC plus, half a win already in a week. That's pretty good. Yeah, he likes Colorado. He's enjoying where he's at there. And listen, we knew we had to give to get. I wanted to make something really impactful, and that's where we landed on this deal. Isaiah Mallory coming off of a solid 3.5 win season after a solid 6 win season the year before that and 4 the year before that. So we'll call it, 4, 6, and 3 wins. And the 3 win season of 2032, I'm sorry, that's this current season. He had 3 wins when we traded for him. Look at how great this defense is. 75 range, 70 error, 60 arm, 65 double play, super speedy, brilliant base runner. He can even bunt, whether it's sack bunt or bunt for a hit. And not a terrible hitting profile. Not knocking your socks off because the power isn't there. But 60 contact, 60 gap, 55 avoid K, and then 40 on the home run power and I. This is a damn fine player right here. And he's making league min too. So those two things work out very nicely. And we also got Drew Romo. He put up a 5-win season despite an 81 WRC plus in 2031. 4-win season with an 82 the year before that. So he doesn't even need to hit to impact the team heavily with that catching ability. 80 ability, 70 arm. He's a captain. Everything you want in a catcher. I didn't feel bad taking this on. He also put up 3 WAR in 72 games with Colorado. He and Mallory were both at 3 WAR when we traded for them. You know how good that is? So we went out, we made a huge impact. I'll show you the other players too, just so you know. Chris Robles, I think decent starter. Yeah. Like, he's a major league starter, 45, 50-50 with 50, 60, 60 upside at age 22. Manny Camargo and Edward Umana. Nothing too crazy there. Manny Camargo is, I don't know, AAA filler unless he pops in some way, shape, or form. At 22, I don't really see it. I'm not too worried about losing him. And then Umana is probably a major league pitcher of some sort, so I didn't have any problem giving up those two. We got Jesus Barron, amazing defender, 75 range, 80 error, 70 arm in the outfield with a ton of speed. Couldn't hit to save his life, though. I mean, has no hitting ability whatsoever. His best hitting category is 40 gap, and the potential to get up to 50 avoid K. It's currently at 35. Willie Corona, a bit better. Has a little bit more of a bat, at least as far as making contact consistently, maybe taking some walks, but 20 home run power with 30 potential. Not as good defensively either. So let's catch up with the team now. We are 57-42. We are a game and a half back. We're on a 7-game win streak. And I don't want to say it's because of the trade, but I mean, it's because of the trade, isn't it? I mean, the trade was made on July 5th. We have won every game since then. Those first 2 wins, we were in preparation of the trade. Like, we were having trade talks and the team knew, like, hey, we better start doing well so that we can get Romo and Mallory. They kind of knew. Then we get those 2. We have the All-Star break, and then they come back and win 5. So I stopped there specifically because we are playing the whole division back to back to back. 3 at Atlanta, 3 at Philly, and then 5 at home with the Mets, including a scheduled doubleheader. So I figured we could pick up there. Big stretch here. Let's get to the day that these games start. Let's sim through this last off day here. Now, we start this big run. What is this then? 6, 11, 14 games in a row without an off day. But that's all right. We came off the All-Star break and we got 2 days off around a 2-game set against Tampa Bay. So quick look at the division. Mets are in first. We're a game and a half back. Philly 4 back. Braves 9.5 back. And the Nats 12 back. Oh wait, do we not play the Nats? Did I say we play the whole division? I did say that. I was wrong. We get the Nats after the Brewers here. But let's be honest, the Nats aren't really that good. So game 1 is a loss, 4-2. Son of a gun. Grayson, our old friend, had to do it to us. Grayson dusts us. Oh well. Muller hit his 22nd, but it wasn't enough. Game 2. Give me this one at least. Now we can't win the series. 9-4 loss. Jay Owens got hit, but Guajardo got destroyed. Melvin, my man. What are you doing? Oh my goodness. 370 BABIP is killing him. That is rough. Don't forget too, if you might have forgotten this from the last episode, league-wide offense is up due to the mound being lowered. Give me a salvage. Saving a salvage here. Last game in Atlanta. All right, we win 14-3. We really took it out on them that they took the first two. Okay, good. I like that. But make a little statement there. You know, you lost the series, but you made a little statement there by blasting Lisandro Santos. Longtime viewers, y'all remember. Y'all remember. I wonder how many people, like, I say that stuff a lot, like, oh, if you missed this episode or whatever, I wonder how many people would like join in the middle. Because I know one of my favorite things is when I find an OOTP series that is like 20 deep already, that I can go back and start from the beginning. I would never join in the middle, but maybe some of y'all did. And if you did, hey, welcome. I'm not shading anybody. Welcome. Everyone come in. Water's warm. But I just wonder if that ever happens, because I do reference it and then I'm like, well, that probably never happens. They might have forgotten things, but I doubt they ever just join in the middle. Like, oh, there's been 64 episodes. Let me just start here at 52 and get zero backstory. So anyway, we've blasted Santos throughout this universe, including in the playoffs especially. That's mostly what I'm remembering. I'm sure he has a lot of great regular season performances against us because he's been a wonderful pitcher for a long time. Now we move out to Philly. Game 1 against them, win. Game 2, win. Give me the sweep. Let's go. Oh, a little bit of a Pyrrhic victory though. We lose Brian Mata, 3 to 4 months with shoulder inflammation. I think I mentioned in the offseason that this is almost certainly our last year with him. 1.4 mil. I mean, he makes 2.2 next year on the estimate, but we should go find like a league minimum reliever at this point. He's 50, 50, 55. He's going to be out 3 to 4 months with shoulder inflammation at age 33. That's probably going to take it. This puts the nail in the coffin of Brian Mata with the Marlins. And hey, thank you for your service. You've been a solid pitcher, a swingman. You joined the team as mostly a starter, 26 starts, 3 relief appearances. Then you were a hybrid, then a full-on reliever. I've enjoyed having him here, but this injury will spell the end. Go ahead and take him off the 40 as well. We didn't necessarily need the spot, but I'll take it. See who we want to get to replace him. I like to sort by strikeout minus walk and kind of work from there. I don't always just take the top guy, but that's where I'm going to start because those are your core skills. Dylan Lopez is off to a great start. That 40 movement scares me though with a 45 control. Manny Smith is 50, 50, 55, which is pretty much the same as Mata, but he throws a lot harder with a 97 to 99 mile an hour fastball. I think it's probably gonna be Manny Smith. He's also already on the 40, which again, I know I didn't need to take that. I know I didn't need to put Mata on the 60 to take him off the 40 man. All right, it'll be Manny Smith and they'll use him as they see fit. I'm going to nickname Manny Smith here. And if you get it, you get it. His nickname is Apple. I'm not going to explain it, okay? If you get it, cool. If you don't, that's fine too. It's not that deep. It's not that funny or anything. It's just a casual little doofy reference that if you get it, you get it. Manny Smith, a.k.a. App. All right, so we sweep Philly 8-5, 3-0, 5-3 in 10. Now, a 5-pack against the Mets with a scheduled doubleheader. I'd love to see this in baseball, by the way. Are you kidding me? A 5-pack against a division rival with a Saturday doubleheader? That'd be amazing. Game 1, we lose 3-2. Detmers. Damn, Reed Detmers clocking us like that? That's not cool. Jaden Owens pitched well. I mean, it was a 3-2 game. You know, nobody really pitched poorly. Unless a reliever came in and gave up like all 3 or something. But yeah, the starters did well. Game 2 against the Mets. Win. Okay, so we're 1-1 with the doubleheader coming. And now it'll be Becerra and Guajardo. I hope. I guess they could use Barriera, but there's only one guy in the emergency SP bucket here, and it is Guajardo. So my guess is that they'll use him. It wouldn't necessarily make sense if they don't, if I'm being honest. So let's see. And we get the classic split, per usual. We lose 8-3 with Becerra. He didn't really get rocked. It was actually more Set that did, and Lupe Robinson gave up a couple. And then was it indeed Guajardo? It was, and he threw 6 1/3 1-run ball on 2 hits. Let's go. All right, good job saving the doubleheader there. All right, give me the series here. Series and a save. What do you say now? One time. Let's go. 4-2 win. Ooh, I see the Tigers appealing to us. We'll get to that in a moment. Offering us Jonathan Loizaga, one of my faves. Puente, 5 1/3 shutout. Almonte Darwin Almonte came in, gave up 2 runs in an inning and a third. He tried to blow it, but the team said, nah, we got this. We got your back. So now let's take a look at this trade offer. Is Loaizaga good anymore, though? 45, 75, 50? Not really. I mean, he's pitching all right. 3.66 ERA, 122 whip. Those are fine. Those are fine. But no. It's not even a big ask. I mean, Tony Arroyo, not really a starter unless... He does have high work ethic, so he might be able to make something of that changeup, but it's 20 with 30 potential. This screams reliever to me. So the ask isn't big. It's not the ask. It's the lack of need on Loaizaga. Offering us relievers in trade, I mean, it's got to be top of the scale or don't bother, you know? All right, let's get finished with the month here. We're not making any more trades. We made our big trade. This is the team that we're sticking with. We lost 2, now 3 in a row to Milwaukee. Wow, okay. Milwaukee 55 and 56, and they come to our house and say, oh, are you guys supposed to be good or something? Because unimpressed. We only fell a half game back of the Mets, though, so it's not the end of the world despite losing 3 straight. And now we get Washington after an off day. All right, Washington for 3. We lose the first one. So we're on a 4-game losing streak. Cool. We win the second. Okay, that's better than nothing. Ooh, Puente was July pitcher of the month. Let's go. 4-0 with a 2 ERA and 50 punchies in 36 innings. Only 14 base hits. That's wonderful. Puente for the season is now down to a 3.38 ERA and a 1.11 whip. Excellent. Walks are a little high at 10%, but it's okay. Let's get this series here, though. Come on. And we get it. Okay, thank God. So we lose that first game, but we rally back. Bobby Miller dominates, and we took care of business. Okay, so we get the Mets again. 4-pack this time, and we are currently dead tied, 66 and 50. What a great series this would be. Opening August up with a 4-gamer in city. Game 1, here we go. Loss in 11, 4-3. Wow, that's a hell of a game there. Game 2, we win 8-0. Let's go. Powell, dominant. Garcia, rocked. Leonard Garcia, hit up. All right, next, 7-2 win. Becerra, modest, because he only went 4 2/3. Only 2 runs, but he went 4 2/3. 91 pitches in those 4 2/3, and I have him on a pretty tight pitch count, so he was not pushed beyond that. And then the last game here, give us the series. We're getting a split no matter, and that is what we'll get. So we lose 2 extra inning games, and then we win 2 routes. I like that. All in all, that speaks pretty well for the club. So we're right back where we started, tied still. 3 in Washington and 2 in Tampa Bay. Let's get through those. Game 1 is a loss in 11. Game 2 is a loss, 8-4. And then game 3, what do we got there? Wow, are we going to get swept at Washington? That's what I get for clowning them earlier. We did salvage a game, 8-5. We have some personnel leaving that we'll definitely need to address. Because even though I am simming after this, I still want the team to have the best personnel possible. Now, after I sign stuff here, it's going to be 5 straight years with no intervention by me. So they might not keep those guys, but I will at least make sure that they're, the ones that I think are the best will be re-signed. At Tampa Bay for 2, we win the first and lose the second. And now let's speed it up a little bit. Let's get to the end of the month. All right, and we get through the month, and we are 83 and 60, a game and a half back of the Mets, of course. We took 3 out of 4 from San Francisco. Swept the Dodgers, took 2 out of 3 from Philly, took 2 out of 3 in Pittsburgh, and then of course dropped a series in Atlanta, as we do, and then took 2 of the first 3 against Cincinnati. So we played great. The Mets must have just been out of their mind. We went 18 and 10 in the month and we're losing ground. They went 18 and 9. There you go. That'll do it. Alex Powell wins Rookie of the Month. He's been wonderful. We have him in a hybrid role. Well, not anymore. He's a full-time starter, but he started in relief. We've put him in the rotation. The transition has worked very well. 110 innings of a 3.26 ERA, 113 whip. That's wonderful. Okay, so as far as roster expansion goes, Dylan Lopez still pitching very well. Raul Aguilar, what's he look like as a reliever? 55, 55, 50. Yeah, I think that's all right. I'll go with Aguilar. Then on the hitting side, Felix Montoya. What do we need? Yeah, outfielder's perfect. Montoya has good range, but that's really it. Justin Tucker can hit a little bit, but he can't play any defense. I'd rather have the guy who can at least be rangy out there. 40 error and 50 arm isn't great, but 60 range. Felix Montoya, welcome. All right, so that brings us to September. Let's see how that's going to go. Can we get the sweep against Cincy? We do not. Okay, that's fine. We've got 4 against Pittsburgh. Let's see how this goes here. They are 50 and 93. They're already eliminated. They suck. We need 3 out of 4 here. It's pertinent. It's pertinent. Come on. It's at home. Got to get it. Game 1 is ours. Game 2 is ours. Wagner Morissette, elbow injury, moderate effect. Going to take 4 weeks. That's an IL stint. So we have room for another pitcher. Faber Castillo is pretty mediocre, but he is a lefty as well. So that's, yeah, since we only had 2 lefties, we'll bring in Faber. Sounds good. And they'll make him a specialist. Perfect. We get game 2, we get game 3, and give me the 4-game sweep. Thank you. 3 at the Cubs. That won't be easy, of course. They are 90 and 56, almost the inverse of Pittsburgh. They have already clinched. So let's see what they're about. Game 1 is theirs. Game 2 is also theirs, 1-0. Are we getting swept? We are. Wow. All right, so the 4-game sweep of Pittsburgh really just covers getting blasted by the Cubs. That's unfortunate. We got a trip to Seattle, around 2 off days, then 2 against Atlanta with another off day, and then 3 at New York and 3 home against Philly to end the season. Here we go. Trip to Seattle, game 1 is a loss. Game 2, a loss. Wow, now we're 5.5 back, by the way, because we're on a lose 5. I mean, that'll do it, you know. That'll put you in some big trouble, especially when they're just winning left and right. Philly and Washington doing nothing for us. Although Washington's won 2 in a row, so I shouldn't say nothing. I was referencing this first series of the month where they got swept, but now they're trying to make up for it. Hey, Washington comes in with a 3 out of 4 against New York. Thank you for the help. And we salvage 1 against Seattle. So we only go 1-2 against Seattle while New York is getting swept. Blow a perfect opportunity. That's so frustrating. They lose again at Philly. Now we have 2 against Atlanta. I think they're absolutely stealing our lunch money this year. And now they're on our ass. They're a game and a half back. Oh, this is treacherous. Bro, they're 12-5 against us this year. They're absolutely smoking us. We need to come up with some wins. It's only a 2-pack too. Come on, guys. Please step up. Game 1 is ours. Faber Castillo also got a sore elbow, 4-week injury. Shane Baz is pending. Arcadia Muller is out 5 to 6 with a sprained ankle. And now he's wrecked. I finally take a chance on a big contract for a now wrecked player. He was fragile when I did it. I knew the risk. I mean, he's still been great. He's got a 4-win season. I can only complain so much. He's playing brilliantly, but it is still very disheartening. I cannot deny that. Damn. All right, well, this is turning into the September from hell. Absolute nightmare right now. Castillo, I mean, 4 weeks, moderate effect. Like, we don't want him pitching on that. There's no need. And we don't even know what Boz has going on either. So that could be pretty bad too. All right, I guess Juan Archuleta's coming back up. He was horrendous in his 28 plate appearances when he came up for a little bit. He's been about a league average guy in AAA. So my hopes are not particularly high here. And I really hope they don't start him. He's up for depth, you know? And Dylan Lopez finally getting the call. All right, let's see what they do here. They do put Archuleta at second. And frankly, I guess that's okay. I don't really have a better suggestion. By the way, Seiya Suzuki's also nicked. Finger blistered 3 days, though. Not too bad. Maybe I'll put T-Money there. Like, it'd be giving up a lot defensively. I think that's the one thing Archuleta can do is play some good defense, so we'll take it. The troll is not hitting very well. I'm getting trolled on that one. And Acosta doesn't hit. Yeah, I guess Archuleta is the pick. That's really ungood. All right, we win 1, but give me a sweep. Give me a 2-game sweep. Please, 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 please. Nope, 6-5 loss. Okay, so off day. Shane Baz, torn rotator cuff, 5 week. Cool. Cool stuff in September. Very neat and fun and sweet. Not pissed at all. All right, we basically need a sweep to get back in the division. We're 5 back. There's 6 games left. I mean, we need to win out, but a sweep of the Mets is the only thing that gives us a shot here. In fact, if we lose this game, if we lose any game to them, it's done because they're magic numbers too. So that's how that works. So we win the first game, we lose the second, and there it is. Third game, we get, but too little, too late. Just choked when we couldn't have it. The 5-game losing streak there was really rough. Cubs are tough, but you just can't have that. And the performance against the Braves all year certainly didn't help things either. Wow. Well, we're in the playoffs. I don't want to hang my head too much about another playoff berth. Let's finish out the string here against Philly. Game 1 is ours. Game 2 is ours. Give me the sweep for fun. Nah, we lost. All right, and we get killed. Jesus. Puente got slammed. That pushes ERA over 5 for the season. Or 4, rather. Not 5. No, he was at 4.06. Okay. Oh, because he got killed by the Cubs. 1 1/3, 7. He had a disastrous close. 5, 5, 7. 2-1. That's very good. But then another 5. Wow. Puente really shit the bed down the stretch. That's unfortunate. So we go 93-69. 4 games back, number 1 wild card at least. Could have been better, but now we have to focus on the playoffs, plain and simple. All right, quick war sword there. If you guys want to look at it, we will look at it at the end of the season in more detail, but there's the war sword on the hitters, and I'll give you both wars for the pitchers. You got the Fangraphs war, and you got the baseball reference war. Bobby Miller, good pickup. Led the league in ERA and whip. That plays. That plays when you sign somebody for 21 mil, and then 14 and 13, because we front-loaded that bish. We now are facing a first-round series. It will be against the Braves, and we'll face either the Cubs or Mets if we win. So, listen, we are deep into this series. We've got rivalries all over. A lot of them are in division because the division's been very strong throughout this sim, so that kind of adds to it. You already have division rivals just by playing them a ton, but then when you're also meeting them in October, that amps things up by a billion. And then the Cubs have been a team that we faced, I think, at least a couple times, but they've been consistently good as well. So we got some beef with them too. So we'll see how it all goes. But there it is. There's the 2032 season. Hopefully y'all enjoyed that. Let me know what you think of that big trade with Colorado. We need those guys to be excellent defensively rest of the way. It did not really move our bottom line that much. We still ended up 13th in defensive efficiency and zone rating. Hey, 2 guys cannot remake an entire defense. But I do not regret the trade at all. I did not think that they would magically fix things. They are better at 2 of the most important positions, though. I stand by that. So anyway, let me know what you think. Next episode out, we will do the playoffs. Peace.